Hey guys, Sarah Sampson here. Today I want to talk to you guys about consistency in 2021. So I have been looking at this a lot lately because in prior companies I was really inconsistent, and I have found over the years how consistency can make or break your business. And we all want our best year. There's so many things going on with pharmacy right now that are incredible. The new compensation updates, new products coming, and it's just an incredible time here at pharmacy. So we want our most consistent year, right? So let's talk about consistency for a few minutes. First things first, like, what is consistency? A lot of people have different ideas of what consistency is, but I decided I was going to dig and I was going to just get the definition right offline. But consistency is a firmness of constitution or character, or to simplify it, it's persistence. What persistence is to go on resolutely or stubbornly in spite of opposition, importunity, or warning. So it's standing your ground no matter what. Standing your ground no matter what. Let's simplify consistency into standing your ground no matter what. It doesn't matter what's going on in your life. You're going to stand your ground. You're going to stubbornly do what you need to do, right? That's pretty incredible, right? How powerful is that? How powerful. So why does it matter? Consistency or lack thereof can be the defining factor between failure or success in any area of life. Children need consistency to learn how to be appropriate in life, how to make, behave appropriately, have values. In business, people need the same thing because, like children, they learn through reinforcement, correction, and observation. They learn by what we do how to behave. So if you're leading a team and you're being inconsistent, your teammates are going to learn to be inconsistent as well. People pay more, if not more, attention to your actions as to what you say. Let me repeat that. People pay as much attention, if not more, to what you do as to what you say. So, when you are consistent, first of all, it keeps you accountable, but it builds trust. When people see you consistently showing up, they learn to trust you. They learn to know who you are, and they get to know who you are, and they learn to trust you. You're predictable. Hey, consistency makes you predictable. And it doesn't mean you necessarily show up at the same time every single day, but they know you're really predictable. You're going to do the things every single week. It could be going live so many times a week. It could be posting. They get to know you and they get to really get used to what you do. It's kind of like a daily habit. It's really predictable that you're going to wake up in the morning and you're going to wash your face and you're going to brush your teeth. It's the same thing when you're consistent in your business. It's going to be really predictable that you're going to wake up and you're going to work your business. It creates personal responsibility. It keeps you accountable. It builds your personal brand and reputation because you're able to, when you follow through with your promises, people get to know you. They learn to trust you. They like you, and they can depend on you to keep your word. So if you say, I'm going to be here tomorrow, right? It takes dedication. So, consistency takes dedication. When you fail to remain consistent, people begin to wonder, what is real? Do they really take this business seriously, or is this just a hobby for them? So it's really important that we stay consistent because this is people's first impression of us in our business. If we're not consistent in our business, people catch on to that, and they may not think we're taking it as seriously as we are, or want to, and it can make or break our business. It allows you to measure your progress. When you're consistent, you're able to see point A and point B and how far you have come in that time. You can see where you've grown in your business. You can see where maybe you've stalled in your business. It allows you to measure where you're at in your business. And it's like, it's kind of like when you're losing weight. Okay. When you start at a specific weight and you're consistent in your workouts and eating healthy, you're able to measure your progress. It's the same thing when you're consistent in your business. You'll be able to see where you were and where you've come from. And it's important that you're able to do that, because without that, it can also affect your motivation, your inspiration to keep going. And at this point in time, like, we're already past that part of the month where people have quit their resolutions. And we're going to talk about that in a second because it's important. But when you're consistently trying, like constantly trying something new or changing directions, it really prevents you from creating that track record of success. So say you decide you're going to go live every day, but then after a week you decide you're only going to go live 3 times a week and you're going to do something else. But then the next week you decide you're going to do this, that, or the next. You don't have this set ability to actually track where you have been or where you're going because you're constantly changing. So it's really important to stay consistent. You come up with a game plan, come up with a schedule for yourself, whatever it takes to keep you accountable and keep you consistent, because you want to be able to track where you are a year from now. You want to be able to say, this is where I started and this is where I am now. This also allows you to share with your followers, like, this is where I was and look at where I've come. Like, look how far I've come this year. It maintains your message. You know, your consistency is going to serve as a model to your downline and allow for your followers and customers to really understand what your message is. Why are you with Farmacy? What are you doing here? Like, why are you here? It's going to allow you to tell people why you're here. They're going to consistently see your message. They're going to see why you're here. They're going to see what you do. They're going to see how you do it. And that is how you're going to find those people who become your forever customers. People don't care what you're doing until they know why. So you want to be consistently sharing your why. You want to be consistently showing them your how in how you present your why. And then the what is really, you know, it's Farmacy. They already know you're with Farmacy. They know their products are great. That's awesome. But it's not going to be those products they fall in love with. It's going to be you. So that is what consistency is. And if you miss that at the very beginning, what consistency is the firmness of constitution or character, or simplified, it's persistency, which is defined as going on resolutely or stubbornly in spite of opposition, importunity, or warning. So in other words, you're stubbornly standing your ground no matter what. So that's what consistency is. Standing your ground no matter what. Okay, so how can you stay consistent in 2021? Like, what can you do? You know, I could tell you, you know, post, go live, talk to people. I could tell you those things. But honestly, you know, the reality is we all run our business differently, don't we? We run it differently. You know, try and go live as many times as possible in a week. But someone else might go live once a week and they hold more message conversations, or they talk more to people on their news feeds, or whatever it is. What we do in our business is different. So consistency is going to look different for every single one of us. But the model is going to remain the same. So how we stay consistent is so much deeper than the steps we take. You know, everyone starts January really strong, but by mid-month, the newness of the year begins to wear off. And in fact, that's when most people quit their New Year resolutions. It's actually shown that it was earlier this week was like the national, like, quit your resolutions day or whatever it's called. People are already quitting their resolutions. We're mid-January. We don't want to quit our business mid-January. We had these big dreams January 1st when the compensation plan improved and new products were dropped, that we were going to have our best year yet. We don't want to quit mid-January and let the rest of the year slip by and wonder next year, why wasn't this our best year yet? Why? Okay? So it's beyond being motivated. It's about being dedicated to your business. We're not always going to be motivated. I can tell you for a fact that I was not motivated to get out of bed today and work, but it's something that I know I need to do to make my business work for me. And I'm not where I want to be right now in my business, but I know that if I continue to do the right thing and get out of bed and do the work, that next year, that's not where I'm going to be. I'm not going to be here in a year. Trust me, I'm going to be here at Farmacy, but I'm not going to be here at this spot in Farmacy in a year. I'm going to be way up there, okay? I'm working hard. But, you know, at this point, like, everyone has this lack of motivation. That's, you know, we're starting to hit that point where we're, like, kind of bored with everything. And I get it. You know, we make those resolutions to lose weight, but by the middle of the month, we're tired of eating salads and going to the gym every day. Okay, let's be real. But, you know, there is ways to counter this. You want to counter that lack of motivation and you want to keep going anyway, okay? So first things first, first things first, do not take on too much or make all of these changes at once. You might think that it's a great idea to jump all in your business, start a YouTube channel, go live every single day, set up your Instagram, get yourself on TikTok and do it all at once and put all of that on your plate at one time. But I'm going to tell you from experience, because I've done this. What you're going to find is you're going to put everything on your plate. You're going to work on it all. You're going to think you're making progress, and then you're going to quickly burn out. And then you're going to go from accomplishing everything to doing nothing at all. And so make those changes small. If you want to go live more often in 2021, start with that. I know, I have a goal of setting up my YouTube. I'm working on that right now, but I didn't do my YouTube channel at the same time as I was setting up my live schedule. You work yourself into it. So work yourself up to all of those big changes, because if you do it all at once, you're gonna struggle when the burnout happens. And we're going to get burnt out anyway. It's inevitable. However, it's going to happen less often if you work on things a little at a time, right? So you're going to start with small changes, small goals. You might want to be Emerald at the end of the year, but you're not gonna be up here with your business as if you're Emerald when you're down here and you're not even a director yet. You're going to work on those small changes that you need to make to get you to the level where you can handle that big freaking team as an Emerald. That's why we have those stages. We have director, we have golden director, we have platinum, emerald, all those things. That's why, because they know we're not gonna be able to go from here all the way up to here without being overwhelmed by the fact that our team grew astronomically. And obviously some of us grow faster than others, but it's the same thing. You work in stages, right? But as you create these habits, as you create this consistency, you want to celebrate those wins. I don't care if you're earning 3% or 25%. I don't care if you are 3% or a platinum director. I don't care. Celebrate the little wins you make along the way, because that's what's going to keep you motivated and keep you inspired to keep going every single day. Celebrate, okay? And then I want you to answer these 5 questions, okay? Why do you want this business to work? Why do you want Farmacy to work? Is it financial freedom? Is it because you want to buy a new home? Is it time freedom? Is it family obligations? What is it? What is it about this business? Why is it you want this business to work? And a lot of times it starts with money, but when you start digging deeper, it's so much deeper than the money. For me, I had no idea how much confidence I would gain by joining Farmacy. I'm not going to cry. Okay, I had no idea. I joined Farmacy after trying several different network marketing companies that weren't working for me because I was in the wrong industry at the wrong time in the wrong company. And I joined Farmacy and I was so scared, but I joined because I still saw the income opportunity of network marketing, but it has become so much more. And for me now, I have the freedom to go declutter my house and share my hoarding mess chronicles on my news feed with my friends and family and still run a successful business and make money here at Farmacy. It's huge. So why do you want this business to work is number 1. Number 2, is your goal concrete and measurable? Are you able to measure your goal? When you stay consistent, like I said earlier, when you're consistent, you should be able to see point A and point B and how far you've come. Is it measurable? Are your goals measurable? Number 3, what is your plan? You can't say you want to be consistent in 2021 and not have a plan. That's like saying you want to lose weight but not knowing how you're going to do it. A lot of people have a plan, whether it's going keto, restricting calories, going to the gym daily, getting an accountability partner. Actually, on a side note, I do recommend getting an accountability partner here at Farmacy, or even like another business. It doesn't matter. If someone is going to support you in your business to keep you accountable, to make sure that you are working your business each and every day the way you should. But like, what is your game plan? What are you going to do to make this business work? You know why you want to do it. You know your goals. How are you going to do it? Number 4, who can support you as you work towards your change? This is where the accountability comes in. Who can you count on? Is it a friend? Is it a family member? Is it another beauty influencer here at Farmacy? Find people that you can surround yourself in who are going to keep you accountable who are going to encourage you to do the work and are going to be there every step of the way. And when you fall, are going to be there to pick you up and say, no, 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 get off your butt, go live, post the post, stop sitting here doing nothing, like do the work, okay? You want someone who's going to do that. And then the fifth thing, and we talked about this a little bit, is how are you going to celebrate your victories? How are you going to celebrate your victories? As I keep bringing up weight loss, mainly because I want to lose some, but it's one of the easiest ways to kind of explain this, because weight loss is one of the biggest resolutions people make in the new year. And like I said, most people have already quit at this point. We don't want to quit on our businesses like that. But when you're losing weight, a lot of times they tell you to create a journal and set little goals for yourself. And as you meet those goals, you might buy yourself a new outfit. You might go get your nails done. You might go get coffee with a friend. Obviously, if you're trying to lose weight, you don't want to put a meal on there. I mean, maybe you do, put a cheat meal. But, you want to celebrate those victories. How are you going to celebrate your wins? How are you going to do it? And then from there, so you're going to, at this point, so the first thing is you're not going to take or make too many changes at once. The second thing is you're going to answer those 5 questions. Why do you want this to work? Is your goal measurable? Do you have a plan? Or what is your plan? Who can support you? And how will you celebrate? And you're going to actually create a routine. So it takes planning. It takes work. It takes commitment. Your routines turn into habits, and it becomes like a part of you. It's like brushing your teeth. No one has to tell you to get up in the morning and brush your teeth anymore, right? We've been brushing our teeth since we were wee little things, and our parents were like, brush your teeth. Maybe we didn't understand it when we were 3 years old, but now we're, I'm in my 30s, and I'm like, yeah, I definitely need to. I don't want my teeth falling out. I don't want dentures, right? I don't. So we know we get up in the morning, we brush our teeth. It's going to be the same thing with your business. You want to be able to get out of bed, do whatever routine you have, go do your job if you work outside of the home, but you have that routine each and every day that without even thinking about it, this is what you're going to do for your business each and every day. When it becomes that routine, it becomes like second nature. You're going to just get up and go live. Whether or not you really feel like it, it's going to be one of those things that it feels wrong not to do. So, Anthony Robbins said, it's not what we do once in a while that shapes our lives. It's what we do constantly. Those who turn activities into routine don't think about what they're doing anymore. We don't think about it anymore. It's just automatic. It begins to feel like it's more effort. What we want our business to feel like is like it's more effort to not work our business than it is to work our business. Think of it this way. When you stop working your business, you're inconsistent. Every single time you come back to it, you have to start over. Do you know how much more effort it takes to start over than to just keep going? It's like right now, okay, so I'm organizing my house right now. It's a huge feat. I am a hoardy mess. I keep things that I shouldn't. We homeschool. I just gave away like hundreds of books, and I still have 4 full bookshelves, okay? But I got to a point where I was tired. So I sat down and I decided I was going to stop. Now I have to go back and clean my kids' room again and start going through toys again. Sometimes some of them for a second time because I played with them and they moved rooms. Where it would have been so much easier if I hadn't taken that day off and kept going so they didn't have time to make that mess behind me. It's the same thing with our business. You don't want to have to start over. Who wants to start over? And I know that was a weird example, but that's like real life for me right now. It's bad. So like, it's not, that's what creates success though, is when it becomes a habit, when it's more effort to keep doing it. When it's more effort to start over and not do it than it is to keep doing it. That's what we want. I wrote down here, that's what creates success. There's no choice but to succeed. And for me, like a really good example of that is Christina. She has been on vacation for 4 weeks. They've been looking at houses. They've been at Disney. They've been doing all of the fun things. Yet she has shown up every single day for her business. In my opinion, and I don't mean to speak for her, but in my opinion, it seems like from someone on the outside, like for her, it's more effort for her to not continuously post and go live and share her life and her products and everything than it is for her to take that 4 weeks off and then start over when she gets back. It's more effort for her to stop and restart in 4 weeks than it was for her to continuously post right now while she's on vacation. She's been an incredible example of consistency the last 4 weeks. I look up to her hugely because it's not just something that is being said, it's something that you can see in her. And that's what we want people to see in us too. We don't want to be that person who starts and stops constantly. We want to be that person who's on a 4-week vacation because we've earned it and we have that ability now, who still shows up daily for our business because we love it so much and we know it is far more effort to start over than it is to keep going. The next thing you need to do, you need to cultivate the right mindset. So this is number 4. Henry Ford said, and I love Ford because my husband works for Ford, but Henry Ford said, if you think you can do a thing or you think you cannot do a thing, you're right. So if you think you can succeed in this business, you're absolutely right. But if you don't think you can make it in this business, you don't think you're right for it, you're right. I hate to say it. So it really starts with your mindset. If you're able to, when you're able to change those negative thoughts, like I can't do it, I don't know enough about makeup, I don't know what I'm doing, and change it to positives and believe in yourself, in your ability to follow through, things are going to start happening. When I joined pharmacy in March, I was terrified to go live. I knew nothing about makeup. Nothing. I mean, nothing. I grew up in technically the early 2000s, late 90s. I'm an 87 baby. So while I was born in the 80s, I was kind of like a 90s baby. But I grew up in a time when there was no blending. We all wore blue eyeshadow and we didn't care if the foundation matched our face or not. Okay. I wasn't taught about makeup. I wasn't allowed to wear it as a child. I was in a very conservative home. What makeup I did wear, I stole from friends, or when my mom wasn't looking, I took out of her drawer and I put it on. That was my makeup experience. I did not wear makeup much as an adult. And when I did, I just kind of like guessed. Okay. And a lot of my thoughts when I first joined were, I didn't make those last businesses work. What makes me think I'm going to make this work? I don't know anything about makeup. I don't even know what face wash is. Like, I'm never going to be the next Kayla Spencer or Christina Hernandez or even my own upline who, you know, is very consistent in her business as well. I'm never going to be like that. Those were the things I was saying to myself when I first joined. And can I tell you a secret? Nothing happened in my business because I was too busy talking down to myself to make it work. I was going live, I was doing the things, but I can promise you, people knew that while I was going live and I was saying, you know, that I wanted to empower women to feel confident in their own skin, whether it was with makeup or without, that I wasn't confident in my own skin. People can tell. So when you're consistently showing up and you're consistently speaking to yourself in a way that's positive, people are going to see that too. Now, and I really encourage you to do this, I have things written on my mirrors. I have things posted all over my house. You know, I'm powerful. I'm strong. I'm beautiful. I may not know it now, but I will later. I am a leader. I teach women how to be strong and brave and unapologetically themselves through cosmetics and skincare. And I believe it because that's what I'm doing now. But you have to actually say those things to yourself. You can't just be like, oh, I don't know. No, you need to be like, you know, even if you have those thoughts, and I know they go through our minds all the time. You know, we all have our insecurities. It could be one thing or another. But even if you have a day where you're like, oh, I don't feel so beautiful. I kind of feel chunky today. Turn it around. I am chunky and I am hot. Like, I don't even care. Like, I know I'm a chunky girl, but I am beautiful. I birthed 4 children from this chunky little body here. Okay. I earned every single role and I'm going to rock them because I got 4 incredible people in the other room who love me and have proven that every single role on this body is worth it. Every single one. When you learn to talk to yourself like that about everything, not just your looks, but about your personality, about your character, about who you are in your business, it's going to show itself. People are going to see that and they're going to want to follow that because it's contagious. It's contagious Just as much as a negative attitude is contagious, a positive one is as well. Okay? So start cultivating that right mindset. Talk to yourself. Say, I am going to be the next Emerald director in this company. I'm going to be the next. I'm going to be the next Christina Hernandez. You know what? Even better, I'm going to hit boss. Because you know what? I am a boss. Talk to yourself like that. It's okay. It's not prideful to believe in yourself. You're not thinking you're better than anyone else. You're thinking you're better than who you were yesterday. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay? Off my little soapbox, okay? Got a little off there. The next thing you're going to do is make your life a little bit easier. So we've already talked about how you're not going to bite off more than you can chew at once. You're going to make these changes a little at a time. Whether you start with your mindset or you start with doing a routine, whatever you start with, make it easier on yourself. Make a list. Have a calendar. Have a planner of some sort. Do something. You know, I use a combination of my Google Home, who kind of like tells me everything that's going on. They reminds me of all of my appointments, and my cell phone notes. And then I actually have like this really awesome planner, and I posted about this a couple months ago, I think December. But write down your tasks for every single day, and then pinpoint your top 2 priorities. So something that has been really hard for me always is I was raised in a home where everything had to be done and it had to be done perfectly. So as an adult, I've carried that over. Everything has to be done and it has to be done perfectly. And I'm going to tell you, when you're running a business, it's not always going to work like that. You might start following up with people and have a list of 20 people you want to follow up with and get into a really in-depth conversation with someone, and you're only able to follow up with 5. You can't feel guilty about that. You really can't. You have accomplished more today than if you hadn't showed up at all. And you might have accomplished more today in that person's life than you will ever know, just by taking that time for them. So keep in mind, you might make a list of 8 things and only finish 4 or only finish 5. That's okay. Carry that stuff over to the next day. Not a big deal. Pinpoint your top 2 priorities. So if your top priority is doing a training for your team and going live on your profile, do it. Show up, do the training, show up, do the live. And then everything else is still a priority, but then you've gotten your top 2 priorities done, and everything else is like, no big deal. And I'm not saying like don't do those things on your list, but you've already pinpointed those things that are most important for you to move your business forward. You've accomplished them. You can feel good in knowing that you have accomplished them, and you can move on with your list and not feel guilty about not finishing everything. Because let's face it, we have life, okay? I have 4 kids. There's no way I'm ever going to finish my to-do list, ever. I mean, think about it. You do laundry, and the next morning you have more laundry. It's inevitable. With 6 people in a house, that's a lot of laundry, okay? You know, if I were to get upset because I didn't finish the laundry because I did all of the laundry and then more laundry got added, what good would it do me? None, right? So I just do more laundry the next day. So you make a list of 8 things, you finish 4, you add those 4 things to the top of your list for tomorrow, and if they're a really good priority, you make sure those get done first. You know, pinpoint your top priorities. You can use an app, planner. Oh, sticky notes are good too, by the way. Sticky notes are great. But make a list, and I recommend you do this at night. So every night before bed, I make a list of what I need to do tomorrow. I do that so that when I wake up in the morning, I can see it and I know what I have to do, right? I know what my top priorities are. I know what my schedule is for the day. Like I can tell you, I have some meetings later today, but in between there, I'm cleaning my kids' room, and you know, I can tell you like exactly what my schedule is for the day without looking at my planner, because I wrote it out last night and I looked at it this morning. So make your list at night so you're ready to dive into your day. You wake up and you're ready to go. And then review your list in the morning so your mindset is right. You're task oriented. So you know you need to go live. You know you need to clean your kids' room. You know that you have this activity for work that needs to be done, and you know when it needs to be done. Okay, have it ready. And then your mind is already in that zone. You're already in the zone, right? You're not waking up and like scrolling Facebook like, oh, I don't know what I need to do today. Maybe I'll like say happy birthday to this person and whatever. You know what you're doing that day. So make your list at night and then look at it first thing in the morning and start working like right away. Obviously, like, if you can't work first in the morning, I'm not saying like roll out of bed and work even though you can't. What I'm saying is you'll have that knowledge, this is what needs to be done today, and it'll be in the back of your head all day long. And it'll prepare you for your day. Make a date with your business. So like, when you set a date with a friend, when you set a date with your husband, your significant other, your wife, whoever, when you set a date, you don't stand them up. So why are we constantly standing up our business? Why? And it could be a date for an hour a day. It could be a date for 4 hours a day. It depends on how long you work. Okay. But when I was at Beachbody, we had what we called like the power hour. We did all of our actionable items. Obviously I wasn't really going live, but I was working out. I was commenting on posts. I was talking to new people. I was creating new contacts. Whatever your routine is for your business, whether it's going live, talking to new people, adding new friends, going in groups and getting to know people, whatever your routine is for your business, set a date for that and don't break that date. Don't break up with your business over something as silly as being inconsistent. Just set a time for you to work and do it, okay? Just show up. You know, if you and your husband were supposed to, or significant other, or whatever, if you and they were supposed to go out at 8 o'clock at night and you had that set and you know that was happening, you'd show up at 8, right? So why are we not doing that for our business? Excuse me. I'm like losing my voice. The next thing is maintain your perspective. So, you know, change and success take time. You can't expect things to happen overnight. You know, when I first joined pharmacy, I saw all these people hitting Emerald and higher, and I was like, oh, I should be able to do this in a few months. I've been in network marketing for so long. What I forgot was I had also been doing Hey Girl messages for 10 years, and my warm market is not a market at all. They don't want to hear from me, and that is okay. And I'm okay with that. But I forgot, you know, I'm starting from scratch because I have to restore that trust. I have to restore their opinion of me. I have to restore those relationships. So they're not going to come to me tomorrow and say, hey, I want to join your business or I want to try this product. They're still waiting to see if I make it a year in this business. And I promise you I'm going to. I have 2 months left. But, you know, when I first joined, my perspective was all wrong. I thought I could do this overnight. And business isn't like that. Business takes time. It takes effort. It takes consistency. And I hadn't shown that in my past businesses. So there was no reason that I should have ever believed that that's how my business was going to work. So, you know, keep in mind, it takes time. 1 week of consistency is not going to make you the queen of consistency. It can take months or it can take years. Some people are able to build a habit quicker. And they're able to create a habit and it's going to stick with them. You know, for an example, again with the weight loss thing, a couple of years ago, I started keto and I was doing really well with it. And I talked to a friend and I convinced them to do keto. I was cooking meals for them. I was keeping them accountable. I was helping them. They lost 100 pounds on keto. Meanwhile, I lost 20 and then gained it all back. And here we are today. Okay. What was the difference between that person and me? Consistency. They consistently did the work. They consistently stuck to the plan. They consistently worked out. And it's going to work out the same way in your business. Even if you start running off in this business really fast, you still have the ability to fall and have to start over just by being inconsistent. So don't think that just because you've been consistent for 2 months that you have an excuse to be inconsistent this month because those 2 months are going to trump this one, because that's not the case. I've made this mistake time and time again. I'm telling you from experience, do not make the same mistakes I have. Be consistent. Don't use last month's success as an excuse to slack this month, because every month we all know we start over just like everyone else. And we all start at the same place. We have no room to being consistent in this business, because I can tell you there's Sarah's in the world, there's Joshua's in the world, there's Kayla's in the world, there's Christina's in the world, and they're all being consistent. And if I sit here and be inconsistent, my customers, my friends, my family, whoever, are going to see them being consistent, and those are the people they're going to follow, because those are the ones who are maintaining their consistency on a regular basis. And they're not making excuses to not do the work. Okay? So keep that in mind. Maintain your perspective. It's hard work, but in time it pays off. It might seem hard right now. You might not be seeing the results you're looking for right now, but with time, with consistency, with hard work, you're going to see those results. You don't lose 100 pounds overnight. My friend took a whole year to lose that 100 pounds. They were consistent for a year. I was consistent for 3 months. You see the difference there? It's going to do the same thing in your business. So stay consistent, okay? Keep that perspective. I didn't lose that 100 pounds and I was all mad because they did so much better than me. When it really came down to, I wasn't seeing the results I wanted right away, so I quit. I was like, well, it's not working for me, and I let it go. When really, if I had kept going, I could be a skinny bee right now, okay? But, you know, same thing in business. We can't be discontent with where we're at now if we've been inconsistent up until today, okay? So, last thing, start today. We're not going to wait till tomorrow to start being consistent. You know, never put off till tomorrow what you can do today. You know, going back to like my whole example of the hoarders thing. When I first started cleaning my house, I was watching Hoarders. Don't ask me why. But every time I wanted to quit that first day, and I wanted to quit a lot because cleaning is, you know, I'm a clean person, but organizing and getting rid of things is hard for me. Every time I wanted to stop and give up because the stuff was just overwhelming, the woman therapist on this show kept saying, don't put it off till tomorrow because tomorrow is never going to come. You know, it's the same excuse that we make when we want to lose weight. I'll start next week. It'll be easier next week. It'll be easier if I start on a Monday. It'll be easier if I start at the new year. When really the only thing changing between then and now is our own mindset. So start today. If you have not reached out to your network, if you have not posted, if you haven't gone live, if you haven't been creating content, if you haven't been making new friends, if you haven't been growing your YouTube, your Instagram, your Facebook, your Twitter, your TikTok, wherever you want to be, if you haven't been doing that, go. Whatever it is you need to do to maintain your consistency, go and do it now. Don't wait. Stop waiting. Stop waiting for tomorrow to show up. Because yesterday's tomorrow is today. Tomorrow's tomorrow is going to be, you know, it's just never going to show up. Tomorrow is never here. Okay? So do it now. If you have to, of course, add it to your schedule tomorrow because because obviously there's some things you can't necessarily do right now. But make sure it's in your schedule. Make sure you have it ready and you're going to schedule it for tomorrow. You're going to do it today. You're going to schedule it for tomorrow. You're going to schedule it for the next day. You're going to schedule it for next week. You're going to schedule it for next month. And you're going to do it daily. Daily. Okay? Kind of like, oh goodness. Kind of like the conversation the other day with the 30-30-30 and going live for 30 days. You're going to consistently do that. Right? And you're going to have that on your schedule and you're going to keep scheduling it. When the 30 days are up, you're not going to quit. No, you're going to schedule it for the next 30 days and the next 30 days and the next 30 days until one day, like we discussed earlier, your routine becomes so routine to you. It's just like another thing like brushing your teeth or combing your hair or washing your face. Okay? You want it to be that daily habit that it's harder not to do than it is to, or sorry, that it's harder not to do than it is just to do the thing. Okay? Resist procrastination. I'm the queen, okay? The queen of procrastination. It's not going to be easier tomorrow, and no matter what you tell yourself today, it's not going to be easier tomorrow. I've been telling myself for a year that it would be easier for me to clean my house next week. Next week never came. I'll start with that. When I started working on this house, it has occurred to me that I have 3 years of junk built up that I had planned on cleaning out of my house 3 years ago, but I kept saying it'll be easier tomorrow. No matter what you tell yourself today, it will not be easier tomorrow. It will not. So let's stop procrastinating and let's stop lying to ourselves, okay? And remember, consistency is persistence. It's the art of going on resolutely, stubbornly, despite any opposition, despite any, importunity or without warning, no matter what is happening in your life, consistency is being persistent and stubbornly doing it, no freaking matter what, okay? So let's do this, guys. Let's move forward in our businesses no matter what in 2021. Let's stop making excuses. Let's stop putting it off. Let's stay consistent. Honestly, guys, you guys have got this. You've got this. This is going to be your year. I have no doubt. This is going to be my year. This is going to be your year. We're going to show pharmacy that they made zero mistakes in coming here to the U.S. because we have a fire under us and we're going to make this business work no freaking matter what, okay? So 2021 is our year. Let's go do this, guys. Stay consistent. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to hop off and let you go. But I hope this was helpful in some way. And I love you guys. And I will talk to y'all hopefully soon. So bye, guys.